This section is about multiplication of fractions. Now suppose we have two fractions and we need to multiply these two fractions. What we need to do is combine the terms in the numerator. So you have 2 and 1, multiply them together, multiply the numbers in the denominator. And this is the basic rule of multiplication of fractions. Multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. And if there are any common factors, we need to cancel them. But in this case, there are none. So we have 2 over 3 times 3, 9. There are no common factors and it's in the lowest terms. So that is our final answer. So if your final answer is a fraction, always make sure that it is in the lowest terms. Now, same thing here. We multiply the numerators. We multiply the denominators. Before I multiply the numbers together, I'm going to make sure there are no common factors. 9 has no common factors with both 10 and 4 because 9 is 3 times 3 and I don't see a 3 in the denominator. 7 has no common factors with 10 and 4 because 10 is 5 times 2 and 4 is 2 times 2. 7 is not a common factor. So 9 times 7 is 63 divided by 40. And I know it's in the lowest terms because I made sure there are no common factors in the numerator and denominator. Now suppose you have 7 over 10, which is a fraction, and we're going to multiply it with a whole number. So I want to write the whole number as 5 over 1. 5 is 5 over 1. I just want to make clear what the numerator is and what the denominator is. So 7 times 5 is divided by 5 times 2. I noticed that 10 has a factor of 5, and that's why I broke down the 10 as 5 times 2. I cancel the common factors, and there are no other common factors, so I'm going to write it as 7 over 2. Both 7 and 2 are prime numbers. And that's my final answer. Now let's see, we have 12 over 45. We don't really need parentheses here, times 5 over 4, which is the same as we multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. So I'm going to look at the numbers in the numerator and denominator. I see a 4 in the denominator and I see a hidden 4 in 12. I see a 5 in the numerator. I see a 5 hidden as a factor in 45. So if I make a plan, I can factor the terms accordingly. So we have 4 times 3. I could have written 12 as 6 times 2, but I deliberately wrote it as 4 times 3 because I see a 4 in the denominator. Now 5 is a hidden factor in 45 because 9 times 5 is 45, and then we have 4. Now clearly we're going to cancel common factors as planned. 4 over 4 is a 1. 5 over 5 is a 1. Now we have one more common factor. I see a 3 in the numerator and a 9 in the denominator. So I'm going to write 3 as 3, 9 as 3 times 3 because I want to cancel the 3 in the numerator with the 3 in the denominator. Now when I do this cancellation, remember that what I'm really doing is saying that 3 over 3 is really equal to 1. So what sits in the numerator is a 1. The 3 remains in the denominator, and my final answer is 1/3. So I'm going to combine by multiplication all the numbers in the numerator and divide by 9 times 32 times 11. Combining all the numbers in the numerator by multiplication, multiplying all the numbers in the denominator. And I'm not going to multiply and find a final answer before canceling the common factors. I need to cancel the common factors first. So I see 11 in the denominator, and I see 11 hiding inside the 55. 11 times 5 is 55. I see a 9 in the denominator and a 9 hiding inside the 18. 9 times 2 is 18. Times, I see a 24 and a 32. If you know the multiplication tables for 4, 6 times 4 is 24. In the denominator, I have a 9 times 4 times 8 times 11. 8 4s are 32. So I'm just breaking down the numbers very carefully by looking for common factors in the numerator and denominator. I can only do that if I have my multiplication tables memorized. If that is missing, like if I don't remember my multiplication tables, this is going to be a very difficult task, because then I'd have to break down everything and cancel common factors. I'm going to show you in a minute that it might take longer. So let's see, I'm going to cancel first. 9/9 is a 1. 11/11 is a 1. 4/4 is a 1. And now let me write down what's left, and that is 5 times 2 times 6 over 8. Now I'm going to break down 8 because 8 contains 3 2's. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. There's a 2 here, and then there's a 2 hiding inside the 6 as a factor. And we have 2 times 3 is 6. Now again, cancel as much as possible. 2/2 is a 1. 2/2 is a 1. And we have 5 times 3 is 15 divided by 2. And that's my final answer because there are no common factors. Next we have maybe I'll continue in the next part. Let's just double check the answer.